my God, Becky.
Can Miss Becky please raise her hand, bro?
You better call Becky with the good hair.
Yo, what's good? It's your girl Becky, and yes, I do have good hair, also known as Becky the Poet. Welcome to my podcast, Unspoken Words. You guys, I've been gone for 2 weeks. Christmas has passed. Honestly, I was really trying to find myself, get myself together, and figure out who I am and why I'm still doing this podcast, why I'm still doing my poetry, just giving myself a purpose. So we have special guests.
Hey y'all, it's Kazz. I am 1/3 of Verified Vlog, which is a vlog to promote and highlight what's going on here in Dallas. And then I also have my own photography, Captured by Kazz, and that's at _ Captured by Kazz _ and that's captured with a K.
You guys, I'm honestly, this is our second time recording this. We recorded at a coffee shop, and we didn't have this nice setup, and then we were just talking. I was like, dude, Kazz, you have an apartment. Da-da-da-da-da. So this is interesting. Yo, if you're watching this, I got new equipment for Christmas. That's what Christmas is for. I was so excited, y'all. Honestly, so you spoke about Verified Vlog. You spoke about your photography business. What exactly is Verified Vlog for people who aren't really familiar with it?
So Verified Vlog is a vlog that Taylor, Haley, and myself started back in probably April of this year. And it's just a vlog that highlights and showcases individuals in the DFW area. And so what we're looking to do is, if you have a platform, if you have a business, if you're an artist, and that's art of any form, we're looking to highlight, showcase you, and kind of expose your work to the broader audience. So I think for us, it's about building communities, supporting our community, and then showing people that Dallas has a whole bunch of talent.
Definitely. I feel like you guys are going to do a good job with that, because there are a lot of artists that we don't see, and there's a lot of businesses that we don't recognize, whether it's black-owned businesses or anybody. I feel like you guys are going to do a great job with just highlighting those people, because there are people I see out in public constantly, but I never know who they are or what do they do. And then when I see them on Instagram, I'm like, oh, I just seen that person at so-and-so's event. So it's nice to know what they do, or be like, oh, hey, I watched it on Verified Vlog, because I love having that feeling of like, I watched this from this, you know? So that's really good. Also, you guys just had a Connect Dallas holiday party?
Yes.
How was it?
It was a great turnout. We did it at Eureka in West Village? Yeah, West Village.
Fancy.
But it was a great turnout, just bringing people together. I think that the majority of the folks had a great time. Right. It was a lot of people that we generally don't see. And so that's the purpose, kind of reaching. Networking. Exactly. Reaching into the community, the people that we don't see on the scene generally. Right. It's nice for everyone to have a space, so the people that we do see, the people we don't see, and kind of bringing them all together. Exactly. And introducing them to one another and getting a feel for one another. So I think that that's the beauty of it. And yeah, it was a great turnout. So if you're ever looking for something to do, the Connect Dallas,
you got all the
generally have
so
something
if you're bored,
going on.
What's their Instagram so that everybody knows?
At the Connect Dallas.
Dope.
So pretty simple.
Pretty simple. You got straightforward, no hashtags, no numbers, straightforward. So Verified Vlog, we have Cosign Magazine, we have Be Great Brand, we have Two Fly Fundraisers, we have all these unique names, right? And what is it, or how did you guys come up with Verified Vlog?
So I think for me, Verified Vlog is like, this is where you can go get your information about the businesses in the area, and particularly the black businesses and individuals that are out here, you know, grinding and putting in work, and they're not necessarily given a platform. So I think that that's what that is about, that verified.
Would you kind of say it's kind of like, you know how Cosign Magazine's like, I co-sign them, is like Verified Vlog is like, this is like a legit
legitimized
place. Like, it's kind of like where everybody goes to for like Yelp for restaurants. Like, is this restaurant legit? Like, what are the ratings? But it's nice to know that you guys do that because, I mean, there like a lot of people out of Dallas, you know, and everybody's on the come up or everybody's starting their businesses or everybody's trying to do their own thing. And you always want to know who is the best in their business. If you're like, let's say you're looking for the best photographer, artist or whatever. So you want to know who's legit, you know, because I'm not going to lie. Some people will scam you. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so I think that that's what we're looking to do is just find those people that are like putting in the work and, you know, doing it because it's their passion and what they love to do. And, you know, they see some benefit in it, whether it be for their family, themselves, their broader community. And we want them to be supported.
That's dope. So besides a verified vlog, what you guys do, what do you do? Oh, not what do you do? I know you said you're a photographer on your own, right? And I know you took some of the pictures for Connect Dallas. So what, verified vlog and photography, how does that line up together?
So that's actually kind of how I got pulled into Verified Vlog itself, because I do photography and I'm branching into videography. And so both Taylor and Haley, they kind of were like, hey, Kazz, I know you do videography, photography. We like your work. And we know that you care about like what our mission is with Verified Vlog. So would you want to be kind of like the director of film or whatever my role is? And so that's how they kind of align. So it's their vision as far as like, okay, the questions that we ask and that type of thing, they kind of curate that. And then it's my vision as far as putting the video together for the most part, or the kind of angles we hit and or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, the hardest thing I would say, sorry to interrupt. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're good.
So our hardest thing I said, like when you host an event, you want to capture the moments. And like, it's hard to be a host and do that. So it's nice to give someone that role, like, all right, Kazz, you'll be the videographer, photographer, and I'll do music, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just easier that way.
No, definitely. I think, to your point, everyone having that distinct role, like there's no blurred lines, like everyone knows what they're supposed to do. And then it's also based on like our capabilities. So what are our strong suits?
Exactly.
So
I guess that's what makes you guys like a cohesive, like strong team
unit. Exactly.
And that's why like Verified Vlog is successful and is like improving. So that's always.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to see what 2019 has.
Oh, yes, 2019. So. Oh, speaking of 2019, honestly, the motto for this podcast is work smarter, not harder.
Okay.
I felt like when we recorded the first time, we were working harder. I was working harder. But so today is actually National Goal Writing Day.
Yeah.
And it was created by Marcus Gilmore. He is the creator or the founder of The Culture Supplier. So he like advertises events. He hosts, I think he's out in New York right now, but he hosts some events in Dallas. So he has like a strong connect here in Dallas. And it's crazy because he lives in New York. So he's still working in Dallas while in New York. But he created this National Goal Writing Day in 2015. And I heard about it last year, so I participated. And I wrote down a list of goals, right? And the way that he has it structured is where you reflect, prepare, and you strategize. And so also you can post it on Instagram too, so people can hold you accountable. So I don't know if you know Brian. Yeah, so he does it too. So yesterday he had posted a photo about he reflected on his 2018. I'm sorry, I'm way ahead of you guys. I'm just really excited. Got some new equipment. Okay, cool. If you had to reflect on 2018, what 3 words would you use to describe this year?
Okay, so I think that my 3 words would be growth beyond measure. So that's actually something that I have on like a board in my room.
So is that your vision board for 2018?
So I do have my vision board for 2018, but I think the last quarter of this year, so maybe around like October, I put that up on like one of my other boards in my room, Growth Beyond Measure. And I was like, this last quarter of 2018, this is what it's going to be about. And I kind of started reflecting at that point. So it's funny you ask about this because I think like that last quarter is when I start to reflect. And then these last few weeks of 2018 is where I start to kind of prepare for 2019.
Oh, definitely.
So
you're already way ahead of the game.
I'm not ahead of the game. I'm just, trying to order my steps.
No,
I think my 2019 is going to be about execution. So I'm not even going to really talk a lot about what my plans are. I'm just going to try and
move in silence.
Yep, exactly. Act on them. So
I think for my 2018, the 3 words that I came up with was you live and you learn. Those aren't 3 words, but
yeah, it sounds like it.
Sounds like it. You live, and is never really a word. Learn.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
Anyways,
live and learn.
I feel like, honestly, that I had this list created for my goals for 2018, right? Mm-hmm. And I accomplished most of my poetry goals. You know, I wanted more visuals. I wanted to get more of my poems out there. Mm-hmm. I started this podcast. But I had other goals, too, that were really important. I was supposed to do my personal training certification. I talked about that before in season 1. I was supposed to take the GRE. I was supposed to apply to physical therapy school. I was supposed to do these important things.
Right.
But I ran into the obstacles of procrastination, a lot of excuses, and also the fact that I didn't know how to do multiple things at one time. Mm-hmm. And I've always heard that multitasking is a myth. You can't do a lot of things at one time. Yep. But I'm still trying to understand, how are you supposed to accomplish all these goals if multitasking is apparently a myth?
Mm-hmm. It's funny because I just read something about multitasking being not what we think it is.
Okay.
And kind of like, I think for me at least, it's about having these short-term goals and hitting those, and then also being present in the now. So I'm reading The Power of Now.
Okay.
And so I'm having some realizations with that about being present in the moment, understanding where you are, and not thinking about the past, not thinking too much into the future, right, and appreciating and living in your present moment. And I think that's super important, and that's something that we don't often do because we're always overthinking things and our minds are always going, going. And we don't sit down and just shut off the brain for a minute, right, and just be. So it's just definitely something that book is teaching me, and I'm only like 40 pages in. So
oh my God.
Listen, but
you're already like inspired.
No, I really am. Like, they talk about being and kind of transforming and just about egos and just all types of things, but they break it down in a different way. Like, it's right, not the definitions that we're generally taught in society. So it's very interesting. But yeah, I definitely think it's about kind of looking at short-term goals, reaching those, accomplishing them, mm-hmm, and then moving on to the next task.
Yeah, that's actually smart advice. It's good advice. We dropping gems over here, you guys. By the way, have you ever listened to Small Doses of Whatever? It's by Amanda Seales. She's like from Insecure.
So I know who Amanda Seales is, and I just saw
her
that.
podcast. I listened to it, and she has this like gem dropping. So shout out to Amanda Seales for getting that stuck in my head. No, so I know we just talked about preparing. You're not going to say much about it, and you're in the process of doing so. Mm-hmm. Ongoing to 2019, what's the word you're going to, you know how we have those words that we focus on each month. Like this month, mm-hmm, we're going to focus on getting out of your comfort zone, whatever the word is. That's not even a word. I don't know anything right mm-hmm now. But like in 2019, what is your number one word that you're going to focus on, that everything's going to revolve around this word?
Yeah. So I think for me, it's going to be execute.
Oh, you just said it.
Yeah.
But why execute after all these years? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So at this point, I have these ideals or kind of these goals, if you will,
right,
that I want to hit.
Okay.
Some that I may have set in past years that I just kind of pushed to the side or they got lost.
It's on your
whatever
list every year, right?
Exactly. So I want to knock those things off. So for instance, starting grad school, like that's on my list of things to do. And well, now I'm saying it, so I got to do it.
Speak it to existence now.
Exactly. So, but like that's one of those things. And I've been out of school for 2 years now, and I still have.
Me too, girl.
And I'm like, all right, I think it's time that I further my education, and I think I figured out exactly what I want to do. So that's one of those things that I'm like, okay.
I think we need to talk after this, y'all.
Yeah. No, I'm like, hey, I need to just execute. Stop saying the things that I'm going to do and just do them.
I know in my family, especially for my mom, she wants me to go back to school. Mm-hmm. And when I started college, I wanted to be a pharmacist. Mm-hmm. And doing more research over time, realizing that pharmacy wasn't for me, but I still wanted to be in the healthcare field. Right. At the time, I was also a runner. So what a counselor threw out to me was physical therapy or athletic training, one of those. And the thing about athletic training is that you have to do hours, like clinical hours, but I feel like I was already behind, so like physical therapy was another option, you know? And honestly, right now I did a lot of evaluation, and I was just talking to a physical therapist at work today how podcasting, poetry, that's all like in a different lane.
It is,
you know, it's creativity. As for like physical therapy, personal training, all that other stuff is not, it's like a structured path. As for creativity, it's just like loops and turns, like whatever, you know? And one thing is, in 2019, the word that I'm going to focus on is sacrifice. I feel as though I spent a lot of time in my eyes networking, which is like going to events after events after events, to a point where I never sat still and focused on myself. And that's why like the ending of 2018, it's a struggle to reflect on like, oh snaps, I want to do these like structured things, and I only did the easy things. I wouldn't say easy, but I would say like it's easier to make mistakes and like fix. As for like this stuff, like you have like I'm like, I'll be real with you guys. I paid $800 for a personal training certification, right? And that I thought I was ready for it. Thought that I could just skim through the book and take the test. Failed it, mind you, and now I have to pay $200 to retake it. Now the toughest thing is that I just literally dropped $800, knowing I don't financially have that right now. And luckily it's monthly payments, but if you $60, $70 a month, like that adds up. And so now I'm regretting that. But come 2019, I had to like sacrifice and just talk to my family and just my friends, just saying that, you know, these events, like they're great, but if I get off at 3 o'clock, 1 o'clock every day, I need to make at least 2 hours to study or do what I need to do structuredly. And then on the weekends and the other stuff, like I can do all those, but I have to accomplish what I do in the middle of the week before I go out and have fun. Yeah, because those events, like open mic stuff, they're fun to me. I enjoy those. They're not a job, but I feel like I have to really follow my motto. My 9 to 5 has to pay for what I do on the side, because if it doesn't, then I'm not practicing what I'm preaching. And so, and it sucks because I come on this podcast, speak about life, personal experiences, and having people talk about their stories, and it's like, dang, like I'm going through the same thing over. And it's like, what are you doing? You know?
I love how candid though you are about this, because you're not the only one going through that. I know for me, my 9 to 5, like there are things like in my career that I'm like, yo, like you should have got this certification. You should have done this. You should have done that. And so where you are, that's exactly where I am, because of course, like I have like my creative lane, and I think that's something that is super important. And that's something that we should all have, something that we're passionate about, or kind of an outlet, if you will. And I think for me, that's my photography, that's being involved in the Connect and doing community service and all of that type of thing. But then I also have my 9 to 5, which is paying my bills. And I love what I do. But it's about me advancing my career. And that's where that, I guess that's where going back to school comes in. That's where getting certifications comes in. That's where making work my priority again. And not to say that that's like the only thing that's important or the only thing that I need to be focusing on, because at the end of the day, that's just my 9 to 5.
Right.
And there's so much more to me than just that.
Right.
But it's about prioritizing and balancing, and being sure that, okay, I have all my ducks in the row here. Now let me go ahead and expand on this end.
Right. So I was, everybody's writing their goals. Everybody's writing blogs about this now. I ran into Brittany B's. You know Brittany B? Yes.
So just met her.
Oh, yeah. She's dope, right?
Yeah, she's real cool.
Shout out to Brittany B. Anyways, she wrote this blog today called 5 Ways to Dominate National Goal Writing and totally read this wrong. 5 Ways to Dominate National Goal Writing Day and Demolish Your 2019 Goals. So I'm not going to really talk about it because I'm like sending everybody over there to her vlog. But if you want to read about it, go to on Instagram at @TheBrittanyB and with the underscore at the end, and go read about it. But she pretty much breaks it out into 5 steps, and she explains like each step thoroughly, which is what I feel like when you read blogs and when you go to YouTube, that's what you want. Because what I've noticed is that writing your goals or planning for anything, you're buying any equipment, when you go to YouTube, people write reviews, right? But I feel like they don't tell you the honest truth of like what's going on with this camera, what's going on with like when you're planning or budgeting this way. So I find that amazing because she had quoted this thing at the end of her blog. It's called the balance sheet. So if you guys look at the blog, it says the balance sheet, and it literally has, oops, I'm about to show Kazz. It literally has like today's 9 to life activities. So it's like 5 a.m. till like midnight. And then, you know, to make sure you hydrate, eat, you know, mental, spiritually stuff. And the best part is the accountability, like checking, like who are you going to call? Because I feel like we have a big, big to-do list to the point where like, it's like, okay, I got to do this, this, and this, and that. And then like, I don't have time to call my mom. Or I don't have time to text so-and-so back. Or, like, I have 50 unread messages. I don't have time to reply back to anybody. It's like, you have time if you make time. And the crazy thing is, like, these people that you don't, like, hit up or stuff, like, you regret not doing that later on. And it's the end of the year. You don't want to regret anything. So I feel like you guys should go to her blog, fill out that sheet, or even use it to, like, as a workbook. And I feel like that's a pretty good deal, right? Like, to balance out your life, because your work life, your creativity life. I mean, she's a blogger. Sure. She works in corporate America. She helps Cosign Magazine. She does event planning. She's doing things left and right. Like, that's pretty amazing. Like,
yeah, no, I'm going to have to go check that out. That seems like something that could be a useful tool.
Exactly.
Especially, like, when you're going through
I think she wrote this up herself, too.
Everyone has a to-do list. Hundreds of bullet points on it. Okay, maybe not hundreds, but, you know, lots of bullet points on there.
100.
And, you know, it's hard to accomplish everything we want to accomplish in a day without having that accountability, without prioritizing and so forth. And like you said, answering text messages seems like a simple task, but when we're not organized, we're not prepared and whatnot, we lose track of things.
True.
And I think that that's one of the things that, and I'm not even going to say in 2019, but I need to start doing just in general all across the board is checking in on people, family, friends. Like, if I think about them, give them a text, send them a text, give them a call, because, I mean, like, it's life
catches up with you.
Exactly.
You never know what's going to happen.
You never know. So it's always important to just kind of keep in contact with people and express to them how you feel when you're feeling it.
And I also feel like, you know, you don't have, because I used to do this excessively, but you don't have to continue to text everybody every day.
Oh, yeah.
But just send them a text or a Snapchat or, like, a video like, hey, I'm thinking of you. Because I do this, like, I text my coworkers, my past coworkers, we were really close, and I would text them happy holidays, right? When I think of one person, I think of everybody. So I'll just text everybody all at once, happy late Christmas, whatever, you know. We all have lives and stuff. It sucks to say late Christmas. I could have just said Christmas, but I'm being extra. But, you know, it's just the fact that you just think about them, you know, and let alone, like, the people that I talk to or keep in contact with, their parents, right? You know, they have busy lives. They already have their jobs that they are doing, like, 40 hours a week or even more. So, like, you know, it's just nice to just send something to them every now and then. Even people you ever talk to in years. Definitely. But that doesn't mean rekindle old flames that don't need to be rekindled, by the way.
Oh,
I'm talking about stay in your circle type stuff.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because it's 2019, you guys. If you guys keep bringing the past every year, you're not doing something right. You keep hurting yourself. Don't do that.
Yes, for sure.
So I know we have all these goals. Every year we talk about goals, planning. Even my season 1. By the way, my 1 year is coming up, so it's nice to backtrack because I listened to my season 1 talking about boom, 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 and then it shifted. So that's growth. But it's like,
but it's growth. It's evolution. It's like,
it's everything.
And it's only been a year, right?
Yeah.
But if you just think about it, because like I've like listened to some of your old stuff, and now like I see what you've done, and your body of work has completely shifted and changed.
I love
and it's
her.
like
She's dope.
It's dope. Yeah. No, for real.
Last episode, 2 episodes ago, last episode, I got challenged off camera, off record, to speak of positive affirmations every morning to myself. And I feel like over the speaking, I think I started, 2 weeks ago, almost, like half a month, I guess you would say, I feel a lot better. And coming towards the end of the year, like, I have, like, missed out on a lot of things because with, like, my own goals, not, like, events and stuff. So it's nice to feel good about yourself and also be confident with who you are. Because, like, how you give me all this, like, hype and stuff, I love it, but I don't know how to, like, receive it. And that's one thing I'm learning, to just take it and run with it. Like, bake it like you are the shit. Like, if people say you are, like, you are the shit, you know? And that's something that, like, I struggle with. A lot of people struggle with that.
Oh, everyone.
Because I think well, in previous episodes with Truth Hurts podcast, I did, being too humble can hurt you.
I was literally just about to say that.
I think I'm very humble for who I am, and I'm just like, all right, cool. And I give credit to like you, like Verified Vlog. I give credit to other poets. I give credit to like everybody else. It's easy, like complimenting everybody, like, damn, you look good, or like the whole damn Daniel thing. That was nice. Like that's like a dope ass friend there. But it's just like with ourselves, we don't say like, damn, Becky, like you look good, or we like, damn, Kazz, like, you're gonna have a great day today, or you're beautiful, you're smart. Like we don't do that to ourselves. But when other people do it, it's like, thanks, like it's whatever. But it's like, no, own it, take it.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's so important. I remember back in college, I played basketball, and my coach, she used to make us write down affirmations, and we would look at them daily. Now, of course, it was like, I mean, the affirmations could be about anything,
right?
But of course, mine were basketball related. But yeah, so it was
like,
something
I'm
that
a bomb ass shooter. Is that what it
was? For real, that used to be my. But like it's something about affirmations though, like you speaking it into existence, and after saying it, you start to believe it.
Yeah.
So I think that
the whole point is believing what you're saying and actually knowing that, because I mean, I have friends who I'm telling, like, speak positive affirmations to yourself. And the difference between the things that I struggle with is affirmations compared to directions. And like, I'm giving myself things to do. Like, I'm going to make money today. That's like, no, that's not what it is, bro.
Right. No. Yeah. Something that you already have that you're
like owning,
building up.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is something I had to learn. So if you guys pause affirmations, but make sure you know what the difference is between instructions and affirmations, because I didn't. So we spoke about goals and all that. So the main question I want to know is, how are you going to hold yourself accountable when it comes down to all your goals? Because you say you have this goal, right? Yeah. And you're not speaking of them, right? Yeah. But do you have something to hold you accountable, like or somebody, like your parents or your friends? Like, what are you going to do to hold yourself accountable that you're keeping track of your goals or accomplishing them? Right.
So I think it's important to have a group of people that will hold you accountable. So I have a circle of friends and coworkers that we kind of talked about our goals a few weeks ago. We laid it all out on the table, and so we're going to be checking in on each other and being sure that we are taking steps to reach those goals. And then I think there's something within yourself that you have to hold yourself accountable. So that's like whether that part. So I think for me, like, I like to cross things off my list, and so that feeling is something that I can't even really describe. But when I cross something off, I'm like, okay, like Kazz.
Well, do you also put goals that like are like unnecessary? Like
when I would just want to cross things
like,
off,
you know, like like I did the
like
dishes.
go to the gym today.
It's like,
so those types of things I don't put on my to-do list generally, unless it's like, you know,
right,
absolutely dire need. But for sure, like being able to hold myself accountable is super important, because that's something that, I mean, at the end of the day, it's up to me to be sure that I'm successful. Now, granted, I have people in my corner that are rooting for me, and I hope and pray that everyone does. But there's a certain amount of accountability I have to take in responsibility for myself. True.
And that's something that we all have to do when it comes down to writing goals and everything, because I feel like if we don't take those into accountability or anything like that, we're just going to be like stuck. We're writing the same goals for
every
next year and next year. I'm one of those. I've been trying to get fit like 3 years now, y'all.
Me too. Me too.
So, honestly, you guys, we're about to end the show. Before we go or anything, Kazz, what do you have to tell them walking into the new year?
About myself, about life,
about just yourself, life, whatever.
I think just going into the new year, we should, and myself, mainly talking to myself,
that's fine.
Go in there and act on whatever it is you say you want to do. And like we were just talking about, hold yourself responsible and accountable. And then also, I think that, I mean, this year can be whatever you want it to be. So don't be your biggest enemy. And a lot of times I feel like we are our greatest enemies, and we hold ourselves back, whether it be fear, whether it be ego, whatever it is.
Right.
We hold ourselves back. And so don't let yourself be the one stopping you from accomplishing whatever it is that you have your heart set on.
I love it. I love that. So you guys, for today's tips, walk into the new year, shout out to Marcus Gilmore for this. You reflect on your life from 2018. Understand that the mistakes you made this year, they don't have to follow you into the next year. And then prepare yourself. So make that list, and also don't be stuck in planning too much, because when you do that, you start wasting half of your year planning when you never taken the time to do or execute. Mm-hmm. And then also strategize. So when you walk into the new year, oh Lord, I hate this camera. I hate technology. But walk into the new year with a strategy, as in like plan it quarterly. I couldn't tell you exactly what does it mean to plan quarterly, but it's something for you to research and figure out yourself and what works best for you. Those short-term goals that Kazz was talking about.
I think one more thing for me.
Oh, go right in.
Being intentional. So, like, everything you do, like, it having purpose and meaning, and not just doing things, like, aimlessly, but let it be something that you are intentional about, right, and you've thought about, like you're saying, with that strategic, like, make everything count, every step count. So
sounds good, you guys. All right, so we're gonna close out today, and we out.